ClickView and SAP version 5.6, the Extractor connector, administration. In this session we're going to cover the following items: logical systems, RS86 and activating extractors for ClickView, error handling including log files, status, deletion, resending iDocs and deleting init loads. The ClickView Extractor connector requires a logical system as an environment to run the extractor programs. At the top of the screen you can see the transaction code required to administer a logical system. /n/qt qvc/extractor_adm is the area on SAP where we can administer logical systems. Parallel loads of the extractor connector will require multiple logical systems. In addition, multi-development environments requires multiple logical systems. We'll now go into SAP to look at the transaction. /n/qt qvc/extractor_adm brings us to the screen where we can create, maintain or delete logical systems. On the drop down box here we can see we've just got a single logical system within this particular SAP environment. Essentially all we need to do to create a new logical system is type in a different name and finally click execute to create the logical system. This process should take about 2 minutes. Within SAP, transaction RSA6 is available to display all of the extractors within the SAP system. The extractors are structured within functional areas of SAP. You can browse the extractors within this transaction and then copy and paste the name to an additional transaction to activate them for ClickView. Transaction /n/qt qvc/activate and clicking Get Extractor will make the extractor available for ClickView. Within SAP I can go into transaction RSA6 to look at all of the available extractors, and here we can see they're arranged in functional area. If I open up the SAP R3 I can see all of the various modules with extractors within them, and I can select financial accounting, customers, and effectively pick the extractor that I wish to use within ClickView. Double clicking on the extractor gives us a list of field names available within the extractor itself. From here I can copy the name of the extractor and then go into the additional transaction to activate the extractor for ClickView. /n/qt qvc/activate. I can then select the logical system and paste in the name of the extractor. I can click Get Extractor and here I can see all of the fields available to me. I can select all or deselect all and select individual columns, or I could just take all of the columns. And now I just click Activate Extractor, and down the bottom we can see the extractor has been activated with a date and timestamp. Logging is an important process in using the SAP Extractor connector. Log files are produced within C Program Data, ClickTech, Custom Data, QV SAP Connector, Log. Also additional transactions exist within SAP in order for us to track the progress and process of the Extractor connector. Displayed on screen as a sample log file, at the top we can see the particular extractor used in this process, in this case 0 cost center _text. We can see the up mode, which was C, indicating this was an init load in preparation for further delta loading. We can see the extraction language, which was English, and we can also see the logical system in which this extractor is running. Further down in the log file we can actually see the individual iDocs which have been received by ClickView. and we can also trace these within SAP itself using transaction WE02. Within SAP, I can go to this transaction and display a list of IDOCs. Here I can see some of the IDOC numbers which appeared in the previous log file. I can select one of these which contains data records. Double-clicking the IDOC and opening up the data records displays the contents of the information which will be passed into ClickView. Selecting one of the IDOCs, I can see the information which is stored within there. Error handling, the status table. Within SAP, a new table is created which displays all of the extractor jobs with their date and time and also the job status in order for us to do additional error checking. On the screen we can see different types of status: R for released, S for started, F for finished, A for aborted, C for job cancel, and K for keep. If a job is started on SAP but ClickView has not received the data, the status will be S, and we can further investigate this and potentially delete the job within an additional transaction called /n/QT/QVC/delete. Within SAP, I go to transaction SE16. This is the table I'm going to display. I'm going to run this for all dates and times. And here I can see a list of all the jobs with their status in the column here. We need to take note of the job date and job time if we require to delete a particular job. Exiting the SE16 screen, I can now go into the delete transaction /n/QT/QVC/delete. Here I pick the particular connector, and this is where I enter the job date and job time, select delete records, and finally execute the transaction. Resending IDOCs. In certain cases, the IDOCs may be generated on SAP but may not be communicated to ClickView due to a network failure. In this case, we can use the log file to get the ID and use this ID in our ClickView load script. Here is a log file for Extractor 0EC PCA3 which has been ran in Delta mode, and here we can see the ID. All we need to do is copy this ID and paste it into our ClickView load script. I just uncomment the resend extraction portion of the script, paste the ID in, and we can now save and reload the ClickView application, which will now contain the information from the IDOCs on SAP. Finally, deleting init loads. Within the ClickView script, you can specify the extraction method using one of the flags available within the extractor. Upmode C indicates this particular extractor has been ran in init load form. If you require to do another init load on the same extractor, ClickView will fail with an error message within the log file. Here is an example log file using extractor 0costcenter_text, where the init load has tried to be ran twice without the original init load being deleted, and here we can see the error message produced. Going into SAP and using the new transaction /n/QT/QVC/delete_init allows us to delete the original init load. First we select the logical system, and then we can paste in the extractor name from the log file, and finally we can execute the transaction. Clicking execute, we just get a confirmation message. We can say yes, we want to delete this particular init. Finally, we get a message telling us the init load has been successfully deleted, allowing ClickView to rerun that init load.